What is up, you guys? It's your favorite survivor reader, and I am back. Except for I'm not back with another read. I'm back with the prayers of a light worker day. Whatever the fuck. Okay, so today's video is kind of just gonna be about why the fuck people think that spiritual people got to be like some higher than thou, like perfect ass motherfucker, angel walking ass motherfucker. Like, I don't know who y'all thought like I don't know, because even in the Bible I feel like, and Jesus is a ascended master, like, you know, Jesus is like not like one of us, but like if you a divine being watching this, then yeah, hell yeah, like one of us, like, so if y'all know Jesus on his gangster shit, like, why would y'all expect any less of us? Like, it kind of feel like y'all be expecting spiritual people to not cuss, drink, smoke, be sad, do anything, bitch, get pregnant, bitch. Like, damn, we can't do shit. We can't do shit. It feels like y'all don't know that, look, my way showers, my guides, my ascended masters, some of them motherfuckers is like hood as fuck. Like, ghetto as fuck. They'll fuck somebody up for me type shit. Like, I don't even be needing to do much. Like, my spirit guides be taking care of me. And I think that's like a misconception of like spirituality, that everything is so positive, but we live on earth. Like, this is like love and war. Like, there's constantly going to be polarity. There's constantly going to be good with the bad. There's constantly going to be fighting, wars. Like, this is a never ending fight. Like, we are literally on a fight to change the world and to raise the frequency and the vibration of the earth. So if we come in a fight, like, how are we not equipped? Right? Right. So, one, we already have our ego. We equipped with our body, like our vessel, our skin, um, and then we equipped with our mind, our knowledge, our experiences, and then thirdly, when we can't figure our shit out, we equipped with our motherfucking spirit guides. Like, at that point, bitch, if I need something, if a bitch getting on my nerves, God, go take care of that bitch. Like, but not for real though. Like, that's the thing. Like, and I'm not even saying it like that, like, on no like voodoo or witchcraft or nothing like that, but like, asking God to fight your battles for you is a thing. And I think a lot of times, I think people become set up to believe that being on a righteous path and having faith in God or spirituality or deities or ascended masters, way showers, crystals, palmistry, Reiki, whatever it is that you believe in, people tend to believe that that only is righteous. And I think that's because a lot of times spirituality is kind of associated with religion, believe it or not. A lot of spiritual practices and rituals have been embedded into religions, like even like wine offerings and stuff like that. Like, that's like, if you think about drinking the wine, the blood of Jesus, the crackers, and what, I don't go to church, so I don't really know. But if you think about like stuff like that in religion, that's an offering. That's something that you give him to the Lord to get that power, or to feel closer to source. So what's the difference with like drinking herbal tea or making an altar and being like, all right, I want to stop smoking. I'm finna offer you all this weed and help me stop smoking. Like, what? Like, just like you give something to the church and be like, okay, I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but I feel like y'all know what I'm trying to say in so many words. Like, it feels to me like spirituality has become a trend. And it's not offensive. I'm not going to say it's offensive, but I feel like it's not taken as seriously. I feel like people want to be spiritual as like, oh, I'm cool. You know, not realizing what all goes into spirituality, not realizing that the work never ends, not realizing that, you know, it's not easy. Spirituality is actually, I think, one of the hardest and toughest jobs to experience. Is one of the toughest journeys that you'll ever go on because it's never ending. There's no end result, there's no final goal, because when you are spiritual, you are forever wanting to ascend and forever wanting to evolve. So every time you reach a goal, every time you're able to manifest a goal that you know you deserve, it's kind of like you want to manifest a new one, or you want to manifest a different one. And then able to do that, you have to unlock whole different versions of yourself, different traumas, different ways of being. There's a lot of unlearning of your programming. And it's kind of like, I think people sign up for this spiritual stuff and not really understand what goes into it. Like, I had somebody get a reading today, and the energy, I felt like she was rushing me. I felt like I didn't really want to do the reading for her, and I did it anyway, being like, okay, I need the money. And while I did the reading for her, she was completely unreceptive to the information. Um, and I'm not saying that when you do readings for people that anything is 100% accurate, because bitch, we don't, like I said, we not fucking perfect. Like, a lot of times we pick up on our own energy, people around us. You could pick up on your neighbor's energy, shit, if you close enough to them. I feel like, especially when you're so powerful, um I feel like there's a sense of arrogance that kind of comes with spirituality, because at a certain point on your journey, before you like hella healed, there is a feeling of like feeling better than people, or a feeling like other people can't touch you, or feeling superior. And that is so healthy, and that's so normal, and it's so natural, because when you do come into your spirituality and you start to see what spiritual rank you have, and you start to see yourself in different dimensions and see what you can do, and the things that you're able to kind of like bring into fruition and stuff, like, I feel like that naturally comes with a sense of power. That naturally comes with a sense of arrogance. And I'm not saying to be arrogant, but it's a feeling of like, when you tap into a certain level of spirituality, it's like you had to have passed some type of test to get there. So it's kind of like you had to have worked on something, unleashed something, healed something. So it's kind of like you kind of feel invincible. Like, if I could get over that, I could get over anything. And then you start to manifest bigger goals. And the bigger your goals get, the more intense the healing process gets. And with it being a trend, I feel like it just looks cool. But then when you having months of you not being able to sleep, manifesting with the moon, talking to God, and just kind of like being exhausted but also having energy, it's kind of like when you start feeling that kundalini energy and your body starts aching and you feeling crazy, you hearing voices or you seeing stuff, or whatever your experiences are. I feel like to come into spirituality, you really do question your mental health and your experiences. I feel like you question a lot of your memory, you question a lot of the world. And mentally, you have to be strong enough to trust the answers that you receive, because in spirituality, I feel like you can't really rely on nothing or anyone. You can't rely on a book to give you the answers. You can't rely on a person to read your head and tell you who your spirit guides is, because at the end of the day, there are people who are in the spiritual community who are very powerful but don't have good intentions. So they could be reading your head and they see a life of health and wealth for you, but instead they're telling you, oh, call on this deity or do this, or just telling you something that's not true, or telling you about a third party situation that you're not in, just to make you worry. So it's a sense of kind of like spirituality is about trusting self. It's about relying on your own belief system, creating a belief system for yourself. Even if it's not prayer or God, it's coming up with something that works best for you. And a lot of times, I feel like people who are truly on the journey, they be so discouraged and so down on themselves. And then you have people who are fake on a journey, who are, oh, I'm so happy all the time. Real spirituality is not happy all the time. If you happy all the time, you're not healing. There's absolutely no way that you're healing if you're 100% positive all the time. Um, I feel like we do reach a level of success to where we can manifest certain things and we can have certain things without struggle. And you get to a position where you are high vibing. There are hippies who are just like happy, all the time. But even that is not real. Even people who appear to be happy all the time, they get upset or emotional about the planet, or or people killing animals or something like that. There's a point where anger and emotions are valid, and spirituality kind of teaches you that. Spirituality teaches you that you have to be grateful for everything that you are gifted with on this earth, even if that's sadness or negativity, because sometimes I'm negative. I'm a year into my spirituality and I feel like I'm still just now learning. I'm still just now learning how to be an alchemist and how to change my perspective when I'm feeling real negative, but it doesn't make me less spiritual. It doesn't make me less enlightened because I get upset or because I deal with things in ways that are less adequate than I would like them to be. But spirituality is also about accepting the value in every lesson. It's about taking everything at face value for exactly what it is. Not every lesson is meant to make you feel accomplished. Some lessons are just stepping stones to the next lesson. And I'm really just thankful to be in a position where I can take the good with the bad. To be in a position where I can accept that I'm still a good person, I'm still spiritual, I still have rank, I still am enlightened, even with all my craziness, even with all my struggles and drama. I feel like a lot of time, spiritual people, even myself, we preach a level of power that we know we have, but we don't use. It's just the truth. Even myself, I preach all up and down every day about how to manifest, and I feel like there are certain things that I've casted doubt about, things that are like inner knowing that I can't prove. I can't tell nobody how I found that answer. I can't tell nobody how I know about my past life. I can't prove what I'm saying in my readings. But there's a level of trust in self that has to be there. And I think that comes over time of valuing your lessons that you've learned. It's kind of like, okay, if I really value the lesson that I learned, then that means I have to value that I've learned from that lesson. Like, I have to understand that I'm better because of that lesson. And once you accept that you are better because of something, it no longer holds power to hurt you anymore. It only serves the purpose of healing you, even if it hurts. So there's a difference between like healing pain and painful pain. You know, it's all pain, but it's a sense of kind of like stagnant pain versus healing pain. And I feel like if you fake spiritual sis, like it's all gonna just feel like pain. You're not gonna understand the difference because you skip steps. Like I feel like a lot of people just jump into doing what they see. Like I'm just finna go buy all these crystals and be this kind of person and do all this stuff. And you can. I'm not saying that you can't by any means. But if your intentions are not pure, if you don't know why you're doing something, and that's with anything, with a sport, with a hobby, with a business opportunity, with a job, if you don't know what your intentions are for doing a certain thing, it's kind of like the saying, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Like, if you don't know what your intentions are going into spirituality, you can fall into witchcraft. You can fall into the dark magic. You can fall into demons and negative entities and very scary deities. All deities are not positive. You know, you can call on some to help you. You know, spirituality is very broad, and I don't label any version of spirituality as bad necessarily, but I do think there are light workers, and I do think there are dark workers. And I don't think dark workers are bad. I think they're just meant to work with darker energies. In a sense of karmic debt, like they have to work with darker energies as a way to pay off a karmic debt. And I've come into contact with dark workers who have been friends of mine, who are not bad people, but the energy of a light worker versus a dark worker is very, very, very different. I feel like a light worker is kind of there to shed the light, and I feel like the shadow workers are there to more so illuminate the shadows and kind of like shed light on shadows. So if you meet a dark worker, I feel like oftentimes it's the shadow version of yourself, you know, and it's teaching you to have compassion for yourself. So in a sense, it's like we need dark workers, you know. I'm not saying that dark workers are bad people. Even people who do voodoo, not bad people. People who do spell work, not bad people. I feel like it only becomes bad when your intentions come from a negative space. So if like you are setting intentions on cooking somebody something and the whole time you just like, I hate them, like, to me, it's self-inflicting. To me, that kind of magic is a way of self-harm hidden behind spirituality, because it's like if you say you believe in spirituality and spell work and magic and dark work and stuff like that, then that means you believe in karma. And that has to mean that if you're doing that to other people, that you have to believe that what you put out into the universe is going to be brought back to you. So any form of like dark magic and stuff like that, I feel like it's a form of like self-mutilation. I don't know why I just heard that, because that's not the word that I was looking for. I was looking for self-harm.